I want to thank you for joining me this evening. I do have a lot to share with you and talking about the recession. Right? Now, a lot of people still think that we're not in it, surprisingly, right? Or it's like it's not going to get any worse than it already is. And I think it is going to get a lot worse than it already is. It's going to get a lot worse, right? I think we're all seeing it. And some of us are like, well, I guess we're hoping for I guess we're preparing. Well, some of us are preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. But some of us are hoping for the best and don't even care about the rest. Hey, how you doing? My name is Will Johnson. UniteAmericaFirst.com is the website, and this is a reality check. Yes, we're checking reality. The reality from the left, they don't want you to pay attention to what's going on in the world. They all want you to think that everything is fine and dandy. Like there's nothing to look at. Don't pay attention to anything, right? That's what they want you to do. Well, we can't do that if we're going to be honest with ourselves. We just can't. There's no way that we can do that and be honest with ourselves, because if we do that, then we have major issues. Then we're denying the facts that's right before our very eyes. And we can't do that. So I want to share some stuff with you this evening that's going to absolutely show where we're headed. And for me, I can't understand why you have some people that's completely denying what's happening right before our very eyes. It's like they refuse to see what is happening. And that I don't understand. I don't know why they're doing that. Okay, and hold on one second. I'm trying to get my audio clip situated here. I'm not sure why it's acting up on me like this. Let me see if I can do it like this here. See if we can change it up. It's always something, right? It's always something. It never just works. We'll always have issues. Okay, here we go. Fixed it. Yes, I'm a black man and I know how to use the internet. Oh, snap. All right, while you're waiting on me, please do me a favor, share this video out. Share the video. Go ahead and hit the share button for me. No matter how you're watching this or how you're listening to this. All right, cool beans. Okay, I think we got it going. So, Joe Biden was asked a question during a press briefing, I guess what it was. And, I guess he's in his new basement. Is this what it is? And I'm kind of questioning, is the window that you see right there, that window in the background, is that a window? Is that, actual sunlight? Or is this just them redecorating the basement to make it look like he's not in the basement any longer? I'm just asking a question here. I don't know. It's probably in a different room. Not that it's even important. What's important is the question that he's asked about us going into the recession. And us going into a recession, and they don't even want to acknowledge it. Why do you think the Biden administration refused to acknowledge that we're literally going into a recession? And it's not just Joe Biden saying it. The press secretary, which speaks for Joe Biden, even says it, right? So why do you think they're ignoring it? Because they're supposed to make everything better, right? Under the Biden administration, everything is supposed to be fine, dandy, great, superb, wonderful, right? I don't know about you, but when I used to work IT, and I mentioned this the other night, when I work IT and then I had a 401k, and a lot of people know what that is. A lot of people get 401k and they contribute to it as much as they can. I did a little bit here and there. Well, I'm scared to even look at it now. I don't want to look at it because everything that I put into it is like it's gone. I mean, it's literally like it's gone. And they're trying to act like it was somebody else that did it. So that brings me to my question. Is this recession that we're seeing, is this part of the agenda? Is it? I think it is because, like I'm constantly reminding everybody, what I saw on the World Economic Forum on their website, when Joe Brandon first got the Build Back Better slogan, they had it on there what Build Back Better actually means. It means tear down the world economy. Do you think our recession is part of that? Surely you didn't think the United States of America was going to be exempt when Joe Biden is actually leading it, right? He's one of the ones that's leading it. He's the first one to come out that I heard and said, we're at the point of a new world order and we need to lead it. It used to be a conspiracy. They used to say, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. There's no one world order. There's no one world order. Now they're all embracing the liberal world order. They're all embracing it. Listen to what Joe Brandon says here about the recession from Peter Ducey that's from Fox News asking this question. And before I get there, the recession is hurting everybody. It hurts everybody. That's part of the reason why the gas prices are the way they are. The job situation is about to get a lot worse. I'm telling you, they've already reported on multiple jobs. Even Facebook, Google talking about layoffs coming. Facebook said 10% of their employees are about to be laid off. And then, if I was not mistaken, Google, if I'm not mistaken, Google heard it through the grapevine of the media that they were going to be laying off. And what gets me, hold on, before I get to this clip, what gets me is I'm wondering, are they targeting the people that was censoring people? Because you know what, when they censor people from being able to reach other people, you know that's hurting their bottom line. So you have people with inside the company. It's not just Facebook, it's Google, it's Twitter, it's all of them, right? When they censor people on the platform, they hinder the company from making money, from making profit. That's part of it, because they put ads and they do other stuff on people's pages and put it in the videos. And what end up happening is that when they don't allow that to go, then those ads don't reach many people. They can reach a lot more, which in turn around that the companies are spending the money for these ads, they'll spend more money. But when they do it and they don't even reach anybody from spending the money, then people are like, why in the world would I want to do this if it's not going to even reach anybody? So listen to Joe Biden. I'm pretty sure many of you have already heard about this, but I'm going to share it with you again. Listen.
And Mr. President, we're getting GDP numbers on Thursday. How worried should Americans be that we could be in a recession?
How worried should Americans be that we could be in a recession? Right. And of course, he's not going to sound the alarms like, oh, my goodness, run to the hills. He can't do that. He's not supposed to do that. Right. He's supposed to keep everybody calm, because if they let out everything that's actually going on, people would go crazy, go ballistic. I get it. But you can't ignore the elephant in the room. You can't. Listen to his response.
We're not going to be in a recession, in my view.
In his view. We're not going to enter in a recession in his view.
We're not going to be in a recession, in my view. The employment rate is still one of the lowest we've had in history. It's in the 3.6 area. We still find ourselves with people investing. My hope is we go from this rapid growth to steady growth. And so we'll see some coming down. But I don't think we're going to, God willing, I don't think we're going to see a recession.
Then he says, God's willing, I don't think we're going to see a recession. It's not good. I'm telling you, people, it's not good. It's not good at all. We're seeing what's happening right now. We're seeing it unfold. And you know what? It's like this is part of the agenda. And that's why I'm just asking the question. Is it part of the agenda? Is this what they're looking for? Is this what they're asking for? Is this what they want? Right? And again, if you refer back to the whole Build Back Better on the World Economic Forum, this is exactly it. And see, it hurts people when you have a recession come. And you know what? I don't know. I've never lived through a recession. Not like the one they explained is getting ready to happen, or that's happening, rather. I've never lived through that. I guess you and I, we're about to see exactly how bad it's going to get. And if a recession hits like they say it's going to hit, like some, I guess, and I'm not out here trying to fearmonger, and let me be clear. I'm not trying to fearmonger at all. I'm just talking about what's happening in our current situation. And if anything, you need to put your faith in God. You need to put your faith in God and know that God has won the battle. So we don't need to fear. We don't need to run around scared. Oh, my goodness, what's going on? No, you don't need to do that. Not if you have Christ in your heart. See, I'm just talking about the stuff that's happening in hopes that, people will just go, you know what? I'm not going to even pay attention to all of what they're saying. And, good for you. But you still need to prepare. That's the whole point. A lot of people don't even watch the news any longer. You know that? A lot of people don't watch mainstream media any longer. They don't turn on the television and watch it because they're sick and tired of being lied to. Sick and tired of it. Just like this, for example, just like this person here, literally lying. This clip that I'm about to play for you, she literally lies through this entire thing. It's remarkable that they lie the way they do, and then they just turn around and expect us to believe everything that they say. I'm like, really? I mean, the American people are stupid according to them. No, seriously, think about it. She's gonna sit here and lie and want you and expect everyone to believe the lies that she's about to say, and we're supposed to be like, oh, the American people are stupid. That's what she's thinking. I'm telling you, 100%. Listen to this.
Karine, two questions. One, just following up on what you said about the National Bureau of Economic Research. They also did not declare it a recession in 2008 until December. That's 12 months after the recession had already been in place in the U.S. economy. But based on what the president said earlier, have his economic advisors told him they also don't think a recession is likely? And what is exactly the White House's definition of a recession?
Again, I'm not going to define it from here. I'm just going to leave it to the NBER, as we have stated, of how they define.
And you remember I played a short clip on this yesterday, but listen to this. This is more detail of that clip. Listen, and listen.
Recession.
They won't declare one until they have declared it one.
I'm just saying that we're just not going to define it. We use the indicators that the NBER, the National Bureau of Economic Research, have used. We've mentioned that a few times. But going to your question about how sometimes it's late, look, I think the point that we're trying to make here is that we have a strong labor market, which you don't normally see in a recession. That is very uncommon to see that. When you see an average of 400,000 jobs created per month, when you see an unemployment at 3.6, which is historical.
Okay, let me stop it there. They didn't create anything. All it was is the only historical thing that took place here, the events that took place that's historic, are the returns, right? People returning back to work. Nothing that they created. I would love to put out a list of what jobs they created. Put out a list of the things that they allowed, the policies that they did to have these jobs be created. It's a legit question. See, the reason why I'm saying that, because they're flat out lying. You remember when President Trump was in office, no one was out. They didn't cause the country to shut down businesses. They didn't cause the country for people to lose their jobs left and right. They didn't do that under President Trump. President Trump did policies and had companies coming to the White House telling President Trump that, hey, we're here to do a pledge to bring business back to America and to have and create jobs. Where did Joe Brandon do that? He hasn't done that. So they are trying to, they're literally lying, saying that they created these jobs. They didn't create nothing. I take it back. They did create something. They created the gas shortage. They created the energy crisis. They created the food crisis. They created the baby formula issue. They created the border crisis. They created those, but they didn't create anything positive for this country. Nothing.
That does not define a recession. And so that's what we point you to. That's what we're looking at, as how the economy is currently in this moment. And the reason why is because of the work that this president has done, because of the American Rescue Plan and turning back on an economy that was in crisis when he walked in, when 20 million people were collecting unemployment benefit insurance. And now we have historic job creation. And so that is important. And let's not forget about the bipartisan infrastructure law that as well that has helped create jobs.
Okay, I just want to be clear though. So we're not going to hear the White House say if there is.
So you know what? She works with CNN. She works with CNN and she's asking these questions like, just to be clear, because they know this is not good. And see, the issue is that CNN, along with MSDNC, ABC, CBS, the whole Alphabet Network soup group, they all contribute to what we're seeing today. They helped this happen. They are to blame as well.
There is a recession, that there is one, until the National Bureau of Economic Research has declared it one.
What I'm saying is that the definition that the technical definition, and Secretary Yellen said this yesterday on Meet the Press, is the National Bureau of Economic Research that looks at a broad range of data in deciding whether or not there is a recession, and most of that data they look at right now continues to be strong. So that's who we look at. I'm not going to get into a hypothetical right now. We don't do that, but we're using that as clearly an indicator, and they lay out how they get to that definition.
So again, everything she just said is a lie. Let me put something up. Let me put something on the screen here that actually shows what's going on, because this was just reported 9 hours ago. This was reported 9 hours ago. Now they're saying that they're saying that they champion what the jobs that are returning. They're championing what took place, right? They're saying, "Oh, well, look what we did. We're doing great. There's no recession coming because we created all these jobs." We created all these jobs, so there's no recession coming. But so, if that's the case, they're saying that all these jobs created. What about the jobs that are about to go away? This was 9 hours ago. Look at this. Facebook employees are preparing for staff cut of up to 10%. And I was thinking about it earlier. How many people work at Facebook? It's thousands of people that work at Facebook. So, this is going to be a large number of people. So if you just do a simple Google search, and type in layoffs 2022. I encourage everyone to go do it. Go check this out for yourself, so you'll know that this is factual information. Look at this. Shopify stocks, they sink 14% after company says it will lay off 10% of its workers. I mean, wow. And just imagine, think about all the other companies that are going through the same issue. Scroll back down, scroll back. It's in there. Okay, there's Facebook. Go slowly here. And then there's Shopify again. And then was that Canada's Shopify. Okay. And then big tech layoffs. Big tech here talking about Silicon Valley. And then there was another one where they said that they got it from the media, right? Yeah, look at this. Ford, they're what, 8,000 workers? I mean, seriously. And when was that? Go back. That was six days ago. They reported this 6 days ago when they're talking about this inflation. This one was a week ago. Microsoft layoffs coming. I mean, seriously. I mean, wow. That was a week ago. Massive Wall Street layoffs. Then you're talking about the stock market. Look at Netflix. Netflix has been hurting already. Netflix, they just lost 1 million subscribers. And now look at this. They're about to have layoffs. I mean, wow. Yeah, and mortgage layoffs. So this is crazy. So there was another one, right, that we had that showed that they didn't find out. Google cloud workers learn of layoffs from the media reports. Now, they got this information from the media, right? They didn't get this, according to this article, they didn't get this from within inside, right? They got it from the media. They heard it outside of the company, according to this article. According to this article right here. This is disturbing. And also, I just realized that Facebook for some reason, unknown reason, they just removed the capability of me receiving stars. They took all the stars away. I just noticed it. So if you want it, because a lot of people, I guess maybe because that's a recession too, like, hey, we're in a recession, so you can't receive stars. And you know what? I never twist anyone's arm to share a star with me. Never do it. People do it out the kindness of their hearts. Right? I mean, look at it. Facebook right now. And let me go look at YouTube, because YouTube, they're good for demonetizing people too. If you can't do super chat, let me go look at it real quick. Because they're happy to, I mean, it's like they all work together. When one do it, then the other one to do it, because they say, okay, well, we don't want you to make a living. We don't want you to be able to do anything. Kiwi just did a super chat. I see that. Thank you so much. The job numbers will be for the people that got the bleep. Yeah. You know what? Maybe. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Is people? That's where the job numbers came from. For people who got the bleep, and then all those jobs coming back, and then they act like they created them. They didn't create any of it. So for any of you that would like to support me, where you can't do the stars now, I don't even know why they took the stars away. I don't even know what the deal is on that. I haven't violated anything. So if you wanted to, please just go to my website. Go to my website, unitesamericafirst.com, or do the Cash App or Venmo. I greatly appreciate it. That's if you want to support me to continue in this recession. I'm just saying, if you want to help me continue support me during this recession while this is happening. Some people can, and there's a lot of people that can't, and I get it. I completely get it. I completely understand. All right, let's go to this next story here. All right, it's actually the same story talking about the recession. Now, I hope I can play this one here. You know what? Let me change it up here a little bit, just a tad bit. Okay, we're gonna do this. Okay, so listen to this next one here. This is them talking about the recession too, and talking about the economics of everything. And what the Biden administration is telling everybody, people are like, no, this is not true. It's a total flop what they are doing. Listen to this.
What is the old world view of this recession, this slowdown that we're in, where maybe it's a mega threat, as your new book is called, this new world, it's all going to be fine, is off the mark?
Well, now the consensus view is becoming that hard landing is likely as opposed to a soft landing. But now people say, well, be short, shallow, mild, plain vanilla, garden variety. I beg to disagree. I think there are many reasons why we're going to have a severe recession and a severe...
So I know he has a thick accent, but just pay attention. Just, if you can, just stop what you're doing just for a second and pay attention to what he says here. Just pay attention.
Severe debt and financial crisis. Debt ratios are at historically high, 420% of GDP in advanced economies and rising. Lots of zombie corporation, household, government, financial institutions were bailed out during COVID. This time around, we're tightening monetary policy. During the 70s, we had stagflation, but debt ratios were low. After the GFC, we had a debt crisis, but inflation was falling, deflation, because there was a demand shock and you had a credit crunch. This time we have stagflationary negative aggregate supply shocks,
right,
and debt ratios that are historically high. And in previous recession, like the last two, with massive monetary and fiscal easing. This time around, we're going to go in recession by tightening monetary policy with no fiscal space. So the idea this is going to be short and shallow.
Okay.
It's totally delusional.
What is the...
It's totally delusional. It's totally delusional. For them to literally sit there and say that, it's totally delusional. For them to say that we're not going into one. And these are people that look at numbers. That's all that they do. They just look at numbers. Like I look at the media and I expose all the stuff. That's pretty much all I do. Except for, I've been watching The Chosen here. I'm watching The Chosen for a second time. Oh my goodness, it's phenomenal. And I just realized, and they was talking about it on The Chosen because they play little clips. I know I'm getting off topic here, but it's all kind of related here. And they say that you can take clips from The Chosen and, put them on social media. I think I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to play some of that where it's, oh my goodness, it's so powerful. And I'm going to do it for those of you that never seen it before. And it is so remarkable. It's so good. And it's better the second time watching it. Oh my goodness. I'll probably wait 6 months and watch it the third time. It's that good. I feel like a kid again. I found a movie in the days when I was younger and I would watch a movie over and over and over and over and over. Okay, but anyways, Joe Biden and many of the Democrats are starting to walk away from Joe Biden. They literally are. You remember Stacey Abrams? You remember the devil went down to Georgia and Stacey Abrams was nowhere to be found because she didn't want to be seen with Joe Biden. And she said, well, there was a conflict in scheduling and she couldn't make it. Really? Can you imagine? Even now, when President Trump shows up someplace and there's senators and mayors and governors that like the President Trump, they'll make sure they change their schedule to be with President Trump. They do it even though he's not in the White House anymore. So you can't sit there and tell me that there was just a conflict in scheduling with Stacey Abrams. Well, look at this one. Cori Bush, she's asked a question about Joe Biden running in 2024. And what do you think she says? A simple, yeah, you know what? He should run. He's the president. He should run. That's what she should have said. But she doesn't say that. Listen, she says pretty much the opposite.
Do you want to see Joe Biden run for a second term?
Do you want to see Joe Biden run for a second term? It's really a simple question. She should have just lied and said, you know what? Yes, he's the president, right? Let him run. That's what she should have said. But she doesn't say that. Listen.
She's got to go.
Yeah,
That's an easy question. That's not going to take long. Do you want to see Joe Biden run?
I don't want to answer that question because I don't want to answer that question.
Okay.
He's the president and he has the right to run for a second term. Absolutely. But
I
don't want to, I'd rather you not do that answer.
You got like 2 minutes to be in the car.
Yeah, I know. I got to get to the.
Well, thanks very much.
She got to get to, I got to get to the, I got to get to the, I can't do the, I got to get to the, really? Really? Let's just say, yeah, you know what? It should run. Yeah, 2024. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, do it. She doesn't want to have anything to do with him. Most Democrats, I'm going to go on a whim here, and I'm going to say at least 95% of them don't want to have anything to do with him now. At least 95. I'm fudging the numbers like they do the polls upwards, right? I'm pretty sure there's more that want him because they hate President Trump so much. They would have the Antichrist before President Trump. They will support the Antichrist. Knowing that it is the Antichrist, they would still say the Antichrist over Trump because they hate the man that much. They despise him. They can't stand him. They can't stand him. They hate him that much. Okay, let me get on to another story here. And, I'm always talking about how the left, and it's not just me, it all came about when they started pushing sodomy, right? Same sodomy marriage. When they're pushing sodomy into the schools, we're pushing it all on the television. And I'm the first one to say, you know what? If you're an adult, live your life, do what you want to do. Leave the kids out of it. Kids should be off limits. I don't care who kids they are, how old they are, and if they're not adults, kids should just be off limits. Let children be children. Let them be who they are. Adults should not be trying to go in and convince children to be something that they're not. That's when the problem comes into play. It really does. But you have pediatrics, coming in, people that, deal with children, and they're like encouraging little girls to chop off their breast. They're literally encouraging that. And then they say, well, if you get older later on in life, you can just get some new ones. You can't make this stuff up. It's really just it's disturbing to no end. And again, it's all leads right back to because of the days that we're living in. We're living in the last days. We truly are. We're living in the last days. And you know what? And this stuff is just intensifying. It's increasing. And you can say it's because of social media. Okay. So we're not going to have social media in the last days? Who's to say? Right? We still have wars and rumors of wars. Y'all see what's going on with China? Come on, people. Y'all see this? The earthquakes in diverse places. We have famine and pestilence. Come on. Look what is happening. You don't need Will Johnson to tell you. You already know. But listen to this. You think all this demonic stuff wasn't going to be included? Listen to this.
But so what we do know is that adolescents actually have the capacity to make a reasoned, logical decision.
You hear this? She's saying that adolescents can make a logical decision. One more time.
The capacity to make a reasoned, logical decision.
They have the capacity to make a logical decision. How many? Why do they call them adolescents? Seriously, it's not a trick question there. Why do they call them adolescents? But listen to this next statement. Because this is them trying to encourage young girls. And they're probably trying to encourage little young boys too to chop this stuff off. But this particular segment here, they're targeting little girls.
And here's the other thing about chest surgery. If you want breasts at a later point in your life, you can go and get them.
If you want breasts at a later point in your life, then you can go and get them. Why? Why encouraging them to chop them off? Come on. And if you think this is not bad, look at this one. This is an old video. This is maybe 2 years, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know the exact date, but listen to what's being said here. If you really think, and there are a lot of people in this audience, listening in on this, and a lot of people in this audience are they're getting fed in their brains by this demonic spirit that it is okay to be a pedophile. You can't make this stuff up. It is disturbing at all levels. You should be able to combat this, and you know what? Children should be off limits. You know, even on YouTube, if you do something on YouTube, at least I can. You know, it's going for anyone who's pretty much an adult. If you go on YouTube, you have to say not made for children, even if it is strictly made for children. Like all my content tonight, I haven't played anything with curse words in it. I haven't played anything with nudity. I haven't played anything with any violence in it. It's just the subject matter that the left, they don't like it. And they're like, oh my goodness. See, what I'm saying, me telling people that children should be off limits and that we should, and all the stuff that I share, they don't want children to see that. They don't want children to see how the left is doing. And I talk about the right too, but they don't want children to see that. But they want children to see other demonic stuff. You can't tell me we're not living in the last days. Listen to this.
Most of us feel discomfort when we think about pedophiles. But just like pedophiles, we are not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them. But we are responsible for our actions. And we must make a decision. It is in our responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles and to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with.
I mean, you know, the only thing you need to treat pedophiles with is jail time. That's the only thing you need to treat them with. There is no justifying this. I refuse, in the name of Jesus, I refuse to justify this. You cannot justify this demonic stuff.
We should accept that pedophiles are people who have not chosen their sexuality and who, unlike most of us, will never be able to live it out freely if they want to lead an upright life. We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference.
What? It gets worse.
Statistics indicate that there will be one or two of you who are struggling with some form of pedophilic interest. These people can't talk.
See, look at that. Y'all see all those people there listening to this crap. And this was a while ago, before it all came out, like with Disney and all of these teachers in Florida coming out talking about the no gay bill. Well, it never even said that. That all they were doing is protecting children from these sickos.
Talk about their feelings because they know that they will be hated for it.
They should go to jail for doing it. And see, it's like they're telling people to act on it.
I truly do believe that every person is longing for love at some point in their life. And what if this love that you really wish for will forever be impossible? That must be a really lonely situation to be in.
Seeking love with children is not yearning for love. These people are sick. They're all about their flesh. That's what that's about. There's no love is just love in this crap. Are you kidding me?
Yes. From an emotional point of view, I can kind of understand that you would want to eliminate these people from society.
Okay, see, no one's talking about eliminating anybody. If anything, you put them in jail. See, they're going to the extreme. You put them in jail. You get them help. Stop targeting children. But see, this was years ago when they did this. This was years ago. Because I saw this video years ago and it came back to the surface. But now today, they're almost like they're trying to encourage this behavior. I mean, look what they're doing. Look at the White House. They have they have a man who's acting and dressing up like a woman over the mental health of children. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. It's disturbing. And I mean, seriously, and everyone, you know, I've talked to many Democrats and they go, well, I don't support that. But yet they go and vote for it. I don't support that. No. I said, well, who'd you vote for? Joe Brandon. Then you support it. You just voted for it. There's this guy, I'm not going to say his name. And he's a total liberal. And I said that he supports pedophilia. And he got mad at me. Because I said that. No one knows who he is. No one see his face or anything. He got mad at me. And he said, you need to retract that. I said, why? I said, who'd you vote for? Joe Biden? I said, well, then what do you want? You want me to lie to myself? I'm not going to do that. He just didn't like the fact that that was true. And there's many people out there like that. You know what else is true? Kamala Harris today, she did, and I did a short video just talking about it. I just put it on Facebook and it's going to be on YouTube as well. And I'm pretty sure many of you have already seen it. With Kamala Harris and the other people sitting in the room and they're talking about what their pronouns are. Like, I can care less, right? And then she even talking about that she's a woman and she has on a blue suit. And like it's really important. None of that is important. You know what's important? Is that we pay attention to what's happening on our southern border. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have yet to go where the crisis is happening. Is that part of the agenda too? It's really a valid question here. Is that part of the agenda? Think about it. Listen to this.
Dealing with the federal government as it relates to the border. Tell us your plan and how are you going to deal differently should you become governor in terms of approaching this as an invasion, which is what you're calling it?
Yeah, it is an invasion and it's part of the agenda. It's part of the agenda. Listen to this.
That's exactly what it is. Doesn't take, you just look at the video, you see people pouring in, the biggest invasion on home soil in this country since we were founded. And we're just going to exercise our inherent Article 1 rights as a state. We are in imminent danger. We're being invaded, and there's no time for delay. So we're going to take that right that we have in the U.S. Constitution and protect our people. And it's what we have to do. We have to take this back from the federal government. They're failing. We're seeing record amounts of drugs pour in. We're seeing millions of people pouring in. They're destroying the middle class by driving down wages. And frankly, we're seeing people who are criminals come across our border. And we need a governor who will protect this state. And then other states will follow suit. But we need one strong governor to do it. It'll be me starting in January of 23.
Well, we are looking at the impact on border counties and cities in Texas. Tell us what you're seeing in Arizona. And Border Patrol agent told me that the biggest situation we're seeing with gotaways is the gotaways go to Arizona. The gotaways are finding solace in Tucson.
Yeah. You know, and then that's not all of them going to Arizona. The gotaways are going all over the nation. And they don't even know exactly how many. They're guessing on how many gotaways actually are in America. And what are they doing? Who are they? What's the plan? Is it part of the agenda?
And it's not just Tucson. I mean, you can go all the way up to our northern Arizona cities. They're seeing the effects there as well. I mean, as a mother, I'm most appalled by the drugs pouring in because we're watching as our young people are being poisoned by this fentanyl. And the government has handed our border and operational control of our borders over to the cartels. And we need a strong governor. Our current governor's done nothing. He's done nothing.
He's done nothing. You know what? The has done nothing. And they're not going to do anything. Right? They're not going to do anything because this is part of the agenda. I mean, I can't say it enough. Everything that we're seeing right now that's taking place is part of the agenda. Again, the oil, day one, he shut down the XL pipeline. And they want us to believe that him shutting it down has nothing to do with our current situation. This was 2 years ago. It's just about 2 years ago now. It's going on 2 years. You know how far along they would have been with the XL pipeline, the stock market and everything. Say, oh, look we got a projection date on being able to actually pump out mass production with this oil refinery, right? With the pipeline. They also stopped the offshore drilling. They'd stopped the drilling on federal lands. All that directly affected the cost of oil and gas in America. Directly. And then they want to act like, oh, it's everybody else's fault.
Russia.
I'm so sick of it. They want to act like someone else did that. And they didn't have nothing to do with it. Just like all the job loss, right? They want to act like they didn't have nothing to do with the job loss, but they want to act like they have everything to do with the jobs returning because they didn't do anything to create them. Let me talk about another story. You know, if you had, let's just say President Trump, and you say Trump Jr., and, you know, other members of his family, or let's just say Trump Jr., okay, because good analogy. And Trump Jr. was doing some sour deals with other nations. And then they found out, and let's just say this happened with President Trump when he was in office. They wouldn't even be looking at the Russia dossier. They wouldn't be looking at that. They would be looking at how Trump Jr. was compromised with these other nations and leading back to President Trump. And what dealings did President Trump have with his son during that time, right? All of this is with Hunter Biden. I mean, there's so much dirt and so much information coming out about it, but you know what they're doing? They're like looking the other way. We don't want to act like we see it. Look the other way. You talk about corruption. And then maybe they're going to use part of this to remove Joe Brandon from office. You know, maybe they're going to say, hey, this is just too much. You're going to have to step down or, just let somebody else, take up the helm. Oh, we're in trouble. Oh, my goodness. Listen to this.
Senator Chuck Grassley is pressing the Justice Department and FBI for transparency as he seeks answers about the Hunter Biden investigation.
Hey, the ranking member on the Senate Judiciary Committee says he has gotten tips that the agencies are downplaying and suppressing wrongdoing by the president's son. Brooke Singman has all the details. Tell us more, Brooke.
Hey, good morning, guys. That's right. Highly credible whistleblowers have come forward to Republican Senator Chuck Grassley, alleging a widespread effort within the FBI to downplay and discredit negative information about Hunter Biden. Now, that's according to a scathing letter Grassley wrote to FBI Director Christopher Wray and Attorney General Merrick Garland. He writes, quote, the allegations provided to his office appear to indicate that there was a scheme in place among certain FBI officials to undermine derogatory information connected to Hunter Biden by falsely suggesting it was disinformation.
I mean, they did that with everything. When they wanted to crush something, even though it was 100% factual, they all came out and said it was disinformation to get people to stay away from the story. Remember, people were getting penalized left and right when they talked about the Hunter Biden laptop. And they come to find out after a liberal organization said, yeah, it was all true. After the fact. Now that they want to get rid of Joe Brandon, then all of a sudden it comes to light. Think about the agenda.
Grassley zeroes in on one particular player, FBI agent Timothy Tybalt, who he claims may have improperly swayed the criminal investigation into the president's son. Grassley writes that the information he has received, quote, reveals that Tybalt's political partisanship impacted his official decision-making on sensitive public corruption investigations. One of those investigations reportedly being a newly opened probe into the Trump administration, which Grassley believes is driven by partisan politics. Constitutional law expert Jonathan Turley says the appointment of a special counsel in Hunter's case would eliminate potential conflicts of interest. Listen.
I mean, come on.
Listen.
This is really an example, a rather textbook example, of why special counsels need to be appointed in these cases. Why haven't they interviewed the president, who is referred to in many of these emails as the big guy? The special counsel would, just by being independent, resolve some of these questions.
They're covering it up. They're covering up. Double standards. Covering it up. This is like corruption 101. Corruption through the roof. And again, if it was Trump Jr. that had a laptop like this and had, just horrible images and, horrible, right? Horrible images emails, business dealings, money being looked like money being laundered. He lied on forms, federal offense. If you did it and I did it, we'll go to jail. But they get a free pass. It's like every time the Democrats do something that's criminal, they get a free pass. Why is that? You know why? Because demons will protect demons. Because for the most part, when someone, a conservative Christian, they do something wrong and it's blatantly, hey, this is wrong, they say, hey, you shouldn't have done it. That's why you see every time conservative Christians, Republicans, when they get caught up in something, they always, if 9 times out of 10, they always go to jail. I don't ever recall any of them not getting in trouble. But Democrats, 9 times out of 10, they don't go. It's only when it's an extreme something happens, or when it's part of their agenda and they don't want to look like hypocrites, like the Cuomo brothers. When it comes to the way they did women. See, that was that for them. That was like, okay, well, we can't let this one go because it's going to make us look bad. They still look bad. But that's the only time they do it. But this, with Hunter Biden, this like takes the cake. I mean, it's almost like watching a cartoon, like on The Simpsons or what's the other one, South Park. And if they haven't done a Hunter Biden on South Park, I mean, I don't know why they haven't. I mean, they should. Do they even still make those on South Park? But they should have Hunter Biden on there. I mean, they can get raunchy because on South Park they do. They have the laptop, have the raunchiness with Hunter Biden, and then have the big guy come in there and make everything okay. Because that's what's happening. They can put the truth on there, and it's like, oh, people just laugh at it. That's why South Park went off, because they would put the truth on it. Well, for the most part, they put the truth on there, and people laugh at it, think it's just funny, because people just laugh at the truth. All right, so Facebook again, that's just wild to me. And then I just looked at it. So Facebook, one more time, Facebook removed the stars on there. And then I just went back and looked at it, and then they're saying that the stars are there. But it's not giving the option. It's like on my page it's saying it's there, but it's not giving the option. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why they're messing with me. So if you find it in your heart and you want to support me, continue to help me push through this. I'm only asking the people who are capable, right? I'm not asking people like, well, I can't right now. And I'm not asking people that can't right now, right? You need to take care of you first. I've always said that. I've always made that clear. I've always made that clear. I only ask people that where God put it on their heart to support me. That's all I've ever asked. And so God is an awesome God. God will make a way. And if for those of you that are like, I can't right now, you can hit the share button for me. That you can do, right? You can do that. Please do that. All right. But let me say thank you to the few people that were able to get through, and they go through on my website and support me that way. UniteAmericaFirst.com/donation. Victoria, thank you so much for the Cash App. And we're live on, hold on real quick. We're live on Rumble too. So, maybe one day everybody can go ahead and create a Rumble account. I'm just saying, it's free. Maybe everybody can create a Rumble account and join me over there, because we're live over there right now. I'm always over there. So let me see. Kiwi, thank you for the super chat. And actually, Kiwi made a statement, and I did say it. I read it earlier. Okay. Mandatory Carry, thank you for the super chat as well. I really appreciate it. Sherry, thank you for the Venmo. Thank you so much. Rich, thank you for the Cash App. Thank you. Caesar, thank you so much for the Cash App as well. Thank you so much. And Jody, thank you so much for the blessing as well. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. You know what? I know why they're messing with me, because I think for myself. I mean, what else could it be? Right? I was looking at Instagram earlier, and Instagram, there's a few people that they post these videos on Instagram, and it's just straight up violent. I mean, violent. And nothing, and it's just fine. Hundreds of thousands of views. But I put something on there just talking about, Hillary Clinton. If you say anything about Hillary Clinton, that's exposing Hillary Clinton on Instagram, oh my goodness. It's like it's like boom. I was like, what? It's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm like, all you're doing is just pointing out the facts. Gene, thank you so much for the Venmo, Gene. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Anne Marie, thank you so much for the Venmo as well. I really do appreciate it. And Gene did cash out. Okay, thank you so much. You know what? Thank you for the blessing. I'm never picky about where you want to do it. I know a lot of people on YouTube like doing super chats, and YouTube, they take 30% of it. So and some people just prefer doing that. And I've always said, hey, if you want, go to my website, and do it that way. But some people just prefer doing it through YouTube. And I get it. I don't ever complain about the blessings. I don't. That's who I am. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to have to go check it out. God bless everybody. See you on the flip side. Reality check.